On this episode of RC Kicks, I'm showing you a little personal RC project that I've been working on. I wasn't going to put it on the show, but I ended up using some paint techniques that I've never shown before. So I thought, hey, why not? So run the VT. Hi and welcome to RC Kicks. So a few of you might remember that I did an Escort from Tamiya quite a while ago where I basically built that up. Then I picked up an M08 chassis from Euro RC. We did a sponsorship together and I put that chassis and we compared the two, which was an entry level from Tamiya and a more racing focused, and I had great fun with it and it was very popular. Well, after a while I decided to sell on the Escort to free up some space with the original chassis all painted up, and that's what I did. So sitting on the shelf feeling very lonely was the M08 Concept chassis. I really enjoyed driving it, so I thought I must get round to putting a body on it, and that's what I've done. I sourced the body and I needed some tyres, so I decided to paint up a bit of a sort of track toy kind of look to it, and there's quite a few different techniques that I used on this one. Now I actually am following a guy who's actually racing a real track MR2, and it kind of inspired me to do a track look, but not from a professional team, but something that a privateer would do. I had a load of random decals left over ones, so I thought I'd put stuff on it that's from companies that I've worked with and just make it kind of look how I kind of envisioned it in my head. And the colours, well, I decided I was a big fan of the Formula One colours and I had a few tins left over, so basically I matched them together. I thought that's kind of very sport-like, and normally for track day cars, usually you do the bumpers in a different colour because you're constantly bumping them into each other, and then you can just change the bumper, spray them up a different colour and bolt them back on again. So that's kind of what I went with. So what I did painting wise that's slightly different is I painted the black roof from the inside, then I painted everything else white. Obviously I masked the windows as normal, but then what I did was I scalpeled around the lines for the bumpers and the skirt on the outside, removed the protective film, then I painted them in the, is it red? What colour are they? I've did them in PS20 fluorescent red and PS1 white, and then I sprayed over it on the top. But then what I did was I used a flat clear and I flat cleared the roof and the bumpers and the side skirts to give it that matte finish, and it worked really well, scalpeling it out. If you get any overruns, it's really easy to remove them as well because they're on the outside of the plastic. I didn't scuff up the body at all and the paint took really well. Then I've gone around with the black edging tape and I've put in the lines. That way you can actually just adds a bit more detail to it. Now the line stuff, I kind of like it, kind of don't. When it's a nice flat line, it works quite well, but if there's any kind of bends or turns in it, it can rise up after a while, which can be a little bit of a pain. I went around with a heat gun as well, but this is sort of generic stuff off eBay. There is a few more branded stuff you can get. I've seen some Crosho stuff and some Tamiya, so I might try some of that. One thing I would have done differently is I used a lot of the edging around the roof from the Tamiya decal sheet, and really I could have probably got away with just being really good with my masking. I think it would have looked a bit better. I would have not bothered putting it on. Most of the edges were really sharp. I had one section that wasn't really as sharp as I'd like it, and I did think from the beginning that I was going to use all the edging tape that came with it, but really moving away from having all those sort of covers gives you a more cleaner looking car. But this is going to be driven and I'm hoping it's going to get a few scuff marks because it will add to the look. What else have I done? Well, I put in a more upmarket receiver and it now runs on my Noble, so it gives me a bit more feel. It's still running a stock Silvercan, I think it's sports tuned motor. I think it is. Yeah, sports tune motor. I will put some better electronics in it, slightly, maybe put brushless in it, because I want to drive this one, I really do. But I think it came out really good. The the number is my current age, because I had my birthday not that long ago. So yeah, there we go. And it's just a load of bits and pieces I had lying around from the decal sheet. It did take quite a while, I must admit. Right, let's take it out and blast it. So just a quick run of the M08. As you can see, I've got some kind of weird problem with reverse. Drives lovely, but then as soon as you go to brake to put it in reverse or anything like that, I'm getting some weird grinding sound. If I just let it stop and then reverse, the car will reverse normally. So I'll have to dig into it a little bit and see what's going on, whether the pinion's not sitting quite right. It feels nice and silky smooth to actually drive forward, so not quite sure what's going on with that. If you've seen this before, comment below, let me know before I go digging into it. It's lovely and smooth, the M08 chassis. Well, in forward, the steering is lovely. It's got a big turning circle, a very tight turning circle, so it's really nice. And having new tyres, pretty sticky. Now obviously this is rear wheel drive, so you can really throw around the back if you want to. I don't know whether I'll get some little tiny drift tyres and maybe try and get it to be a bit of a drifter. It is quite a short wheelbase, so that doesn't really pan out too well for it. From that point of view. Anyway, thanks very much. Just a quick look and something I wasn't really going to put on the show, but I thought, hey, why not? See you soon. Bye-bye.